All right, we're going to talk about social media marketing for real estate investors. You know, a lot of people think this is like the end-all, be-all, and the it thing, and it's overhyped quite a bit. Because really, when you think about it, it's the same concept of networking and schmoozing as it is meeting people. What's the goal? It's not to become their Facebook friend. It's not to get on their list, or you get on they get on your list, or you get on theirs. It's to eventually lead to a connection where you can talk to someone by phone or in person, right? So we're just going to work it the same basic way, but just use electronics as a means to amplify that quite a bit. So with Facebook, and I think Facebook is probably the best one, just because it's so prolific and there's so many people on Facebook. I use Facebook for a lot of things. You know, I use Facebook as like a blog, you know, promote my business. I use it to, you know, once in a while to spew my thoughts, but you know, people who sit there and tell me, look what I just ate, and my kid's the greatest. My wife calls it brag book. It's like all she sees, she's like, all I see is kids and doing great, and so-and-so got an A, and who cares? Who freaking cares? That's all people do on Facebook is brag about their kids. But I've used it to find people. It's an excellent tool. If you got a seller who's disappeared on you, Facebook, half the world is on Facebook. I had a seller I bought a house from, and like I said, I didn't have a power of attorney from her, you know, and it's like 15 years later, and I'm trying to deal with the bank, you know, to pay off, and they want some kind of authorization. I found her daughter on Facebook, and then she gave me her mom's email address. So unless it's, you know, Jose, Gonzalez or Joe Smith, you know, if they've got any kind of unique name, they're on Facebook probably. Odds are. So it's a great research tool. LinkedIn as well. Sometimes when you're talking to someone on the phone, you just want to get a face on it. Just look them up on Facebook, LinkedIn, or one of those, and you can see what their picture is, what their interests are, what their hobbies are, whether they're married, you know, their last vacation. You know, a lot of people put that stuff public, which they shouldn't, but they do. They do. So Facebook, there's lots of real estate groups in Facebook. It's a good networking for that. So they have these little subgroups you could set up and become a member, or set one up and they become a member of yours. And it becomes almost like a blog community where you can post things and they post things, and you know, it's cutesy and all, but you remember what the purpose is. It's not to get Facebook friends, it's not to have your group grow, it's to have an influence over other people and let them know that you're there. Okay? So the only purpose would be just like if someone gave you their card, use it the same way. Keep them warm, remind them that you're there, give them free information, post things regularly, and then when you need to call on them for a deal that you need a partner or funding or a flip, whatever, use it in that sense. But remember, don't Facebook people chat back and forth. Say, listen, what's your number? What's your cell? I'll call you right now. Don't get too electronic, because you know, people have a certain line, like, you know, like I won't let them email me, but I'll Facebook chat them. You know, and if I like them, then I'll let them email me. And if I like them email me, I'll let them phone me. People are so protective of their personal privacy that you're losing the business communication. You're losing that personal communication. Start your own real estate groups and invite other people the same way. Now you can advertise on Facebook and get people into groups, and you can like create like profiles of people that are like you, or like you see a group and say, I'd like to have a group like that. It'll create what it thinks is people who have the same interests, and then let you market to them pretty cheaply. That's pretty good to do. Okay? Or boost, you can put posts and then boost your post so that more people like who your friends will see it that don't know you, but it's got to be something enticing, like, hey, I got this great contract on real estate that, you know, I really want to share with people for free, and then they have to sign up for your group to get it. You know, but that's only a little bit. You know, you want to have enough people. Make sure you vet, you know, who's on your list, and make sure you communicate enough that you know if there's a relationship that can be formed there. Post to these groups often. Again, people forget real quick how they got on your list. So keep reminding them how they got on your list, and you know, make it interesting so they have an interest in what you have to say. And the same thing, you know, Facebook is just a segue into an email, into a phone call. That's the way you got to look at it. It's not how many Facebook friends can I get. That's easy. Go on Fiverr, people will fake friends you. So it looks like you have a lot of friends, which is not a bad idea, because people tend to go to where there's other people. So, you know, there are services that'll do that. That'll fake create fake profiles and then say you're friends, so you're like, I have 600 people in this group. Wow, I want to join this group. It looks exciting. Look at all these people posting. There's so much activity here. I got to get involved. You can fake that. You know, fake it till you make it, so to speak. Not a bad idea. Google. There's this new thing called Google Plus, which is starting to generate an interest in, I don't know, 2 or 3 people. That's not nearly grown like Facebook. Now, with Google, though, I'm not talking about Google Plus. We'll talk about that in a minute. Google is very effective to generate leads of people who are looking for something. So let's say you're trying to generate leads for sellers. So when they Google, hey, I need to sell my house quickly, how do I get to you? It's very difficult to get to the top of the natural search engine. And it's extremely expensive to pay per lead in Google Ads. What I do recommend is if you've got a niche, like you're in a bedroom community, and that's a fairly large one. I need to sell my house in Broomfield. You could probably get on the first page of the search results for something like that, on a submarket like that. Or a big house, like if you live, let's say you specialize in I buy houses in the villages and renovate them and sell them, if they let you do that, I don't even know, in Florida. That would be something that's niche enough that you can get onto the first page of the natural Google results, and that's what you want. So what you want to do is create blog sites using WordPress. Now, you can use WordPress.com instead of free blogs, or you can upload the WordPress app onto a hosted domain that you own. It's free either way, but you're going to need someone on Fiverr to install it for you. If you don't know how to install WordPress, it's a little tricky. So on Fiverr, you can find someone for $5. You just give them the domain and the password, and they'll set it up, WordPress for you. I would recommend you go a little further than that. Maybe spend $100, because a lot of these people do it for $5, not for the $5. They just want to demonstrate their ability to do something, so you hire them for a real job. So see if you can get someone to create you a decent enough blog. And let's say you buy condos in the Villages East, okay? And it's a big condo development. There's like 500 condos in there. You could corner that market on Google because it's small enough and niche enough that if someone says, I need to sell my Villages East condo, boom, you'd be 1, 2, and 3. You could do that. And that's how you're going to get Google search results. You can't say, like, I'm in foreclosure, help me, Denver. People pay $10,000 a month to be on that front page. There's no way you're getting on that front page for something as generic as that. But if you wanted to niche it into a submarket or a product or something like that, you can create a blog site, like a domain that says, I bought your sell villageseastcondo.com. Now, Google looks at basically 3 things. They change it all the time, by the way. They're changing their algorithms completely. But still, they look at 3 main things. The name of your domain, like the villageseastcondosellnow.com or something like that. And you can have 2 or 3 of them, by the way, with different variations. That way you come up 1, 2, and 3 on the search results. And I recommend that. It's cheap enough to do. And you'd have a different blog with a different look for each site. Okay. Now, it also looks at relevance, like what's being talked about on the blog. So if you have relevant content that you're posting about it, explaining people how all about it, about the development, how you can sell, here's 4 tips if you're in foreclosure, things like that. Don't post the exact copy to the other blogs because Google is not fooled by that. Google will ding you if you just keep copy and paste the same thing on every blog. You have to rearrange the words a lot. And you can't just repeat the word, sell your house, sell your house, sell your house, sell your house over and over in the post just to get them. Google's smarter than that. They know. Their algorithms are very sophisticated. So you have to have a real conversational, what looks like a real article with the keywords in there. Now what's nice about WordPress is, anyone use WordPress? WordPress it's not for the faint of heart. I mean, if you're not really that technically savvy, WordPress is a little challenging, so you may need to get someone to set it up and then teach you how to post to it. Once you have it set up, it's easy to post. But there are what's called plugins for WordPress. They're like add-ons that millions of people make. And there's several of them that'll do keyword optimization, search engine optimization. So you put a phrase in the title of the post. The domain has a name, and then it's / the name of the post. And there's a title to the post, there's a name of the post, there's the keywords, and then there's the search engine phrase. and it'll suggest things, and when you mess around with the title and the description, so when you search Google, you know how it comes up with, it says name of website, title of page, and then a little blurb. That's not exactly what's on the page. That's something you create. You understand? It doesn't just clip randomly something in the site. You actually have to plug that in. So when someone sees the search result, they go, yeah, that's relevant to me, and clicks on it. This plugin will optimize it just for that and give you a little green light if you're optimized exactly the way you should be. So it knows by the domain, the relevance, the search engine optimization, and it's perfect. And the last key that Google looks at is how many other sites that have high traffic link to you without a link back, without a backlink, right? So if the Drudge Report wanted to link to my website, that would be huge, right? Because they get a billion, or CNN.com or something like that. So the last secret, I found this one out by accident. Don't tell anybody. Erase this on the tape. But I found this out by accident. I was like, how do I get links on other sites that are high traffic to mine without paying $1 billion, or ads, or how do you do it? Well, it occurred to me, there's a website called PRWeb. Is anyone familiar with PRWeb? PRWeb.com. It's a press release website. It's the press release website. And they have different levels of press releases, $200, $300, $400, up to $1,000. You just need the basic $200 one, okay? So if you do a blurb on PRWeb announcing your new website, and just 2 newspapers or other high traffic sites pick it up and put a link back, you're golden. You're on the top of the search engine in 2 weeks. I figured this out by accident. So you set up the domain with the relevant name, you post content that's relevant, okay? And it's consistency that counts, how often it's updated. So you have to do this regularly. And you can hire people out of China to do this for you, by the way. You just email them a Word file with 100 articles, and I'll tell you how to do that. You don't have to write it. And then they'll just keep posting it for you all the time. So it looks like it's updated, it's relevant, it's got the URL, and it's got a backlinking from a major website, which will cost you about $200. You only have to do it once, though. Okay? In terms of content, there's what's called private label resale, PLR. Just Google PLR real estate articles, PLR condo articles if it's a condo development. Whatever topic you want to Google on, you can buy a zip file of 100 articles relevant to your topic for about $8. And what do? Copy and paste. Even better, give it to the guy in China and let him copy and paste it. You can get 100 articles for about $8. PLR. Just Google PLR real estate articles or PLR condo articles, or if you want to put stuff about the Denver market, PLR Denver articles, you know what I mean? And you mix and match it up. And don't use the same articles on all 3 websites that you do. So, use a couple on this one, a couple on this one, and just post like, a couple times a week. And within 2 to 3 weeks, if you follow this, you'll be in the top 3. 1, 2, and 3 in Google. Assuming that your niche is unique enough. Again, you can't just put stop my foreclosure Colorado. You can't get to the top of that search engine. There's people paying a lot of money to do that. Okay? And pay per lead, like Google pay per click, forget it. That's a game that's way too involved to explain. And I've lost tens of thousands of dollars doing it, so trust me. You don't want to go that route. The natural search thing works if you have the right niche and you do it right. Okay? You can also get into the local search results in Google if you do it right. There are services that'll stick you in all the local things. So when you Google something and it knows like by your IP address where you are, it shows you local results, local businesses. It's free to get into that. Get into that. So if someone searches "sell my Villages East condo," boom, WeBuyVillagesEastCondo.com. You're in the first one if your address is near them. Put it in, if you don't have an address that's near Villages East condos, get yourself a UPS store or a PO box close to there, because it'll come up in Google relevant local searches because it's close. Does that make sense? And that's how you win the Google game. Then there's, we talk about backlink sites and Google Plus. I don't use it. I mean, everybody's always adding me on their friends on Google Plus. I've been on there once. I don't know if it's catching on like Facebook. I don't think it is. Is anyone using that?
I use it, but I've heard I've seen the trend going down with it right now.
Is it?
It's good for finding people.
Oh, YouTube is, by the way, another good one. YouTube. You post videos about it. YouTube search, Google owns YouTube. So when you put a video with the tag words, the keywords, the title, and the description, all relating to Village East Condos, and you say, hey, I'm Bill Bronchick from Village East Condos, WeBuy.com, and I want to tell you it's like 6 tips if you're getting ready to read a condo to sell. I'm not a broker, I'm not legally listed, but if you want to sell it fast, just here's my number at the end of the video. And if you Google that, boom, the YouTube video will show up on the first page as a result, and they'll click on that. Most people like to watch videos because Google and YouTube are very tight together. So Google, if you put the keywords in YouTube, they'll show up on the Google results on the first page.
Bill, one of the reasons for Google Plus is because you can do reviews on businesses with Google Plus, and if you're searching for a business, like somebody wants to look you up, Google is going to show the business reviews first. It's going to be really high profile.
What if they're bad?
Then you're screwed. But it's a trusted way for people to see who you are and what you're about, and so
right.
if you get people to review you, that's what they're going to see.
Right.
Google puts it up top.
Well, what I see is also like when people email me in Gmail, like it pulls their Google Plus profile from that and their picture and stuff like that. It'll, like on your iPhone, you ever notice that? Like, how did I get that picture? It's pulling it from Google Plus. So there is an integration there. So there might be something to do there. I haven't really figured out anything that's useful, but I'm open to suggestions. But again, you don't want to get too slick with with lists and friends. And the whole point is to get a relationship. To get a seller to call you, or to you to call them, and that's what it's all about. LinkedIn is a lot of a networking goes on in LinkedIn, but again, a lot of it is I'm friends with a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend of yours. Or I used to work with a guy whose uncles, sisters, brothers, cousins connected to you, so will you take me as a friend on LinkedIn? It's useful to a point, and what I don't like about LinkedIn is if you really want information, they make you pay for it. They make you upgrade to a premium thing so you can really get to the good stuff. But if you search for relevant contacts by industry, like let's say you're looking for listing brokers in Atlanta, or you're looking for brokers that might have pocket listings, or commercial brokers in Toledo, that would be a good place to look for something like that.
There's also a lot of groups on there.
Yeah, they have a lot of groups. And you can post content on that too. Do the same thing. You can post articles. And there are services that will do this for you, by the way, that will post to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google Plus, like all at once. It'll bang them all at once. So you can do the same. But the problem is with that is that Google gets pissed off when they see the same article reposted to all your different sites. So they tend to ding you with that. So you have to mix and match it up a little bit. And again, just like schmoozing, weasel your way into relationships with people who have a lot of connections with relevant industry players. So you weasel your way into Joe, Joe lets you weasel into Fred, Fred leads into Barb, and Barb is the listing broker who's got 100 bank-owned properties a month that she lists. That's the one you want to get to. So it's a little bit of weaseling and schmoozing. You're just doing it online, which is a little easier, but ideally you want to get them on the phone. That's the whole idea. Get them on the phone.